name is Bruce Zawalsky. I am author of Canadian Wilderness Survival and chief instructor of the Boreal Wilderness Institute. And today I would like to talk about fire management and the rule of twos. And if you like this life-saving type of information, please subscribe to this channel and like this video. So as I said, today I want to talk a little bit about the rule of twos in fire management, and literally I want to bring you down into the fire. So there's my fire. It's not burning right now, but it's the same fire pit we had the survival twig bundle in. It's the same fire pit that I lit the survival twig bundle and started that fire. Now I want to talk a little bit about the fire management. What happens when you have to make this fire go? So the first thing I suggest and re-emphasize again is the rule of twos. And that means putting two like-sized logs on at the same time. So one log will burn the other. They need friends. They can't be too close together. They can't be too far apart. So I'm putting these two logs in there. I would put them in here. And of course, I wouldn't reach in the middle of the fire because this fire is going to be burning. And then I'll put a second log down right beside it. So these two logs, one will burn the other. Now they're very small logs, so they're going to burn pretty quick. So as I burn through a dozen or so of those, wrist thick, I'm going to go to fist thick sticks. Here though, you see the same thing. It's two logs, same way. And again, I'm going to put these logs on, one, and then a second one. And I'm going to keep them apart a little bit so they actually have a chance for one to burn the other. Right? And if I have to jumble logs, I will jumble the logs up so I get a little bit more three-dimensionality to the fire. So I can do that as well. So either way to put that in, and what I've done is I've created some more height on that fire, and I give that fire a little better chance. Fire is heat, oxygen, and fuel. That's the fire triangle. Without that oxygen, you won't get it. And by putting this motion in the space here, I can actually do that. I can spread them apart. I can move that in. I put the next log on an angle. And again, two like-sized logs. So when I get up to the leg-thick logs, to get the overnight burns, this size and bigger, not smaller, because they'll just burn up too quickly, I have two like-sized logs, one after the other. Now here I've got a little thing to think about. This log is real management. If my shelter's over there and I have a smaller log like this, I could take these two logs and I can put them right back here. And literally from my shelter, I can reach over and put these logs on the fire and then stay in my shelter. Here, with these big logs, I'm never going to be able to do that. So these big logs will never do this. So this log, I might as well pile to the side and put them well away because I'm going to have to pick this log up. And I can't throw this log. Start throwing big logs like this, shelters break, people get injured. It just doesn't work. It's a real heft of a log, and a bigger log is there. So if I was going to put this log on, I'd probably stand up, move over, and drop it on. And then, of course, its pair would have to go on as well. And again, a little bit of motion, a little bit of thing, bringing this fire up and making sure it's separated with some airspace. So fire management means what? Fire management means having your wood in the right spot, piled up by like types, piled up in twos. When I count wood for the overnight now, I literally look and say, okay, this is a 1 hour log. I need 2 of them for every hour. If I need 12 hours of firewood, I need 24 of those logs. That's how it works. Nothing else goes. I put those aside by type, and I make sure that I have them. Smaller logs I might put right beside my shelter so I can put those logs in. I might also have an extra twig bundle hidden inside my shelter as a way of making sure that if the fire got out a little bit too much, I can restart it with the coal bed by simply dropping the twig bundle right on the coals, getting it to restart, and then I go from there. So that's why I'd always have a few extra small logs and small sticks around. Even in a forest like this that I can go and collect, what I don't want to do is have to get up in the middle of the night, put my headlamp on and wander out into this forest breaking twigs. That's a waste of time. Do that stuff early, make sure it's there. And again, a dozen pencil, a dozen finger and a thumb thick sticks, they go. Then you go to wrist, fist, and leg thick sticks. Overnight, you're going to have all of these leg thick sticks or bigger. You're going to have them in pairs. You're going to put 2 on at a time all the time. and have some small logs beside your fire or beside your shelter that you can pull in very quickly, and all you have to do is grab your leather gloves, pull them in. Big logs like this, you have to manage them and place them on the fire in the correct spots. And what's the other thing you should always have? You should always have a fire poker, sometimes two. They're really handy when logs get into the wrong spot. If that's one shelter here, you might have a second person with a shelter there, and one of the ways you can deal with the rule of two is this. What you do is you get up and put two logs on the fire. Then you put one log here in front of this person's shelter and one log there in front of that person's shelter. Then you go back to bed. In an hour, when these two logs are burnt out and the fire's getting a little low, all you do is open the front of your shelter up and roll this log into the fire. Your partner on the other side rolls that log or chucks that log in there. Done. So what happens? You get up half as often, right? That's how that works. You get up once, you put two logs on. You put one log in front of each shelter. An hour later, you roll the next two logs in, go back to bed. How long are you up for? 5 minutes. What does that mean? You go back to sleep really, really quickly. If you have to get up, get dressed, get moving, what you'll do is you'll wake yourself up. And so this way, you get twice as much sleep and you get back to sleep really fast. And then the next time, he or she gets up, puts two logs on the fire, puts one log on either side, and you go back to bed. Right? That means you get up half as often. So that's the real true rule of twos. Once I learned that rule of twos, never ever put a log on without a buddy, and the buddy has to be the same size, fire management became way, way easier for me. And it's really one of those things that just had to be learned by doing it and working out in the forest and doing this in terms of real skill. So again, fire management means having your logs in the right place. It means collecting enough wood that you can get through. It means having a spare twig bundle, some spare small logs to make sure you can restart the fire, and always following the rule of two. If you like the useful life-saving survival knowledge that I teach on this channel, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, watch and like other videos on the channel, and support the Boreal Wilderness Institute by coming out and taking courses, and more importantly, by going on Facebook and liking us at the Boreal Wilderness Institute. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed what you've learned out here in the Boreal Forest. I hope you get a chance to come out here in the Boreal Forest and learn some more. And remember, if you're stranded out here, then just simply stop and survive.